So let's talk about you comparing yourself with other people, other men. So this advice from Jordan Peterson that changed my life says compare yourself to who you are today, not who somebody else is today. And it dawned on me because I know throughout my entire life, I usually compare my life with my elder brother's life. Like literally. I used to feel like he had the entire world and I didn't have anything to myself. Up until one day, a very crazy incident happened. It's a very, very minor thing, but it's crazy. I used to have like one pair of headphones, and those pair of headphones were like the only thing I valued like in this world. What I mean is, apart from, I think it just had like a significant amount of what of importance in my life. One of my aunts bought it for me from Germany, and because of him, I cut the cord of the headphones. I smashed the headphones simply because he wouldn't allow me use my headphones. And that was the moment I said to myself that fuck it, I would no longer want to live like him because I used to want to do everything he was doing, right? Again, it's conformity, the environment. You really can't outgrow your environment, you know. And that willingness, that decision to break away from his lifestyle was one thing I think that pitched me in in one direction of my life. I mean, I could look at his lifestyle and not. I don't really like talking about this because it feels like I'm throwing him under the bus. But yeah, I just told you how comparing myself with him. I'm just like so I'm like very very slow intentionally though, very very slow. So speaking of comparing yourself, one thing people don't realize is whatever you are seeing happening in the front is a fraction of what is going on behind the scenes. People never know that. Yeah, it's a fraction. What that means is you're seeing somebody at a certain stage of life doing something that you want to do, and now you're comparing yourself, seeing yourself as a failure. Now, let's be very, very frank. I won't tell you never to compare yourself. Anybody telling you that doesn't really know what they are saying. But when you compare yourself to somebody else, you're supposed to ask yourself, is this person heading to where I'm heading to in life? The answer is yes. What that means is, what can I learn from his journey to make my own journey move? But the real truth is that life is supposed to be a journey. It is not a race. Someone, and this is where I see a lot of young men miss it. Someone is playing what? Someone is playing the looks game in terms of his dating strategy is to focus on looks, on his looks. Someone else's dating strategy is to focus on his finances. By default, those two guys will have things that the other person lacks. This is why I preach the philosophy of becoming a well-rounded man, right? So when you look at that individual's life and assume that person's life is perfect, I've made a big mistake. I have been opportunity to meet like very wealthy people. I've also been this life seeing people who are like less capable than I am. And one thing I realize is they're actually happy. Like they are both happy. The one who is rich is not sad. The one who is poor is not sad either. They're both happy. I mean, they can find happiness in both of these things, right? But again, a lot of people like to look with their eyeballs out. So if you're looking at somebody's story, use it as a reference for your own story. It should not be a thing that judges your story, though. I don't know if you get my point. It should not be used. It should not be what is used to determine it, but should be used to as a compass, basically. So, for example, if you had this neighborhood child who in 5 years grew some level of wealth, feel free ask him questions like, okay, how do you do it? What do you overcome? Rather than seeing yourself, rather than feeling bad for yourself, you end up doing something very, very stupid. So yes, I'm not somebody that would say don't compare yourself. Feel free to compare yourself, knowing fully well that you are on a different journey than that other person. A completely different journey. And this is why for me it's easy for me to separate from people, right? Because we are all individual beings going through our individual journeys. And so far you know where you are going to. And I think that's the problem with most men today. They don't really know where they are going to. And if you don't know where you are going to, guess what? You have no direction to move. And if you have no direction to move, that is a surefire way that you are not going anywhere in life. And you of all people know that we don't discuss that here. We discuss how young men come up forward. A lot of the time, people just assume that comparing yourself is only negative. No, comparing yourself can make you wake up, right? Look at guys who turn 30 and don't have a family yet. Look at the way they snap out of whatever it is that they are currently doing. And they begin to ask themselves questions, right? Okay, I'm 30, friends are married, they have kids, there's a family, and you're probably your 30s, single, maybe living with your parents. So I get that, yes, you might look at their lives as perfect, right? But what you can do is instead, what's best is create your own life. Like that's the best. And look at people that you like their results and curate your own results. That's the beauty of being a man, and that's the beauty of becoming a well-rounded man. Being a well-rounded man, you can't be bothered about what somebody else is doing because you are very, very narrowed down on the kind of life you want to live. You are very direct on the way that you carry yourself. So comparison being the thief of joy is not about don't compare yourself. It's not compare yourself and use it as a way of looking down on yourself. If not better so, it's supposed to be a tool that's supposed to be used to take you forward, like ahead, not going backwards. Not going backwards. Not you feeling bad, not you feeling less than, because if you don't treat that kind of insecurity, you're going to grow rich, right? And begin to have certain thoughts that might work against you and brings you back down to wherever you started from, right? And it's comparing yourself, right? That may want to make you want to take shortcuts in life. But one thing I've seen across board is there is no shortcut. Like there are zero shortcuts. The best hack that I have seen that comes to a shortcut is, as a man, surround yourself with people who are older than you and have the things that you want in life. Like that is the best advice when it comes to life shortcuts. Anything past that, nah, you really can't shortcut. Anything shortcut has its consequences. So ask yourself, is it really a shortcut? Is this really a shortcut? So in the very end, like I said, one other reason we want to compare ourselves, like I said, we conformed. If you never conformed, there's almost no need to compare yourself. But again, like I said, the reason you compare yourself is for you to the reason you compare yourself is because the person is heading to somewhere you think he's heading to. So when you compare yourself, you know what you're aiming towards. You may not be aiming towards that person's direct results, but when you look at what the person is currently doing, it can make you dig deeper and easy to inspire yourself. But the real problem comes when you use it to put down yourself. I don't know if I'm making sense right now. So let me see. Well, I think this mindset of not comparing myself as basically it's basically made me to find joy more in life, actually. Seeing that I have guys like that are richer than me and we still do things together. Seeing guys that I am richer than and we still do things together. Because it's not about the money you have in your bank account, but it's about the vibe you do everything with. Even when you talk to girls, it's about the vibe. Are you secure? Are you insecure? Right? Do you believe in your abilities? Do you think that you are weak? So, well, I just decided to like grab the mic, talk about how how comparing yourself to somebody else is really not worth it. If you're going to use it to put down yourself, but if you're going to use it to uplift yourself, then trust me, it is super worth it. My name is Tonowe. I create content to help young men become way better version of themselves. If you like what you hear in this video, share with somebody else who will find it very, very valuable. That word of mouth or that referral of this video will help the channel grow, knowing that I cannot help more young people to get back on track. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon, and bye for now.